Yes, how are you?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, good. Yes, here we are again to pick up from where I left you last week. And we are looking at history paper 3. And our topic, of course, we are looking at Napoleon Bonaparte. We are still looking at factors for Napoleon's rise to power. We always tell you that at A level, things are a little bit different from how we look at things in O level. Here we look at a factor, we break it down. So we are breaking down the different factors. Why? Because I always tell you that we might cite a factor and then we ask you the extent to which that factor contributed, for example, to Napoleon's rise to power. That's the reason why we keep on breaking down the different points. Now, previously, if I'm to remind you, previously, that is now our lesson 2, we were looking at the directory government, okay? We looked at the weakness of the directory government and how it contributed to Napoleon's rise to power. Now, having broken down the directory government, we are now going to look at another factor. But I believe people remember what we said about the directory government. And I remember telling you this was the last government of the revolutionaries. I remember telling you that the revolutionaries had 3 governments, and their first government was the National Assembly. The next government, or the second government, was the National Convention government. Then the last government of the revolutionaries was the directory government. So we looked at the weakness of the directory government and how it contributed to Napoleon's rise to power. And I remember telling you that this directory government, the reason why it was referred to as a directory government, because it was under directors, okay? It was under directors, and there were 5 in total. So now we are going to look at another factor, and then we see how that factor contributed to Napoleon's rise to power. But of course, not all factors are broken down. There are some factors that we can't break down, but some of them or most of them are broken down. So let us look at another factor now that contributed to Napoleon's rise to power. Okay, and here it is. We have gone to our lesson 3, and okay, lesson 3, and we are looking at another factor here, which is Napoleon's education, okay, at the prestigious schools of Brienne and Paris, meant for children of the clergy, exposed him for a better and a brighter future. So the point we are actually talking about here is Napoleon's education. Yes, Napoleon received education, most especially military education. He had this education in the academies of Brienne and then Paris. Now, for your information, these academies were meant for the children of the clergy, okay? And for the children of the clergy, a moment, please. Okay, so I was actually saying that these 2 academies were meant for the children of the clergy and the nobles or the nobility. So Napoleon tried to have, or Napoleon had a chance of going there, and then he got training as a military officer. Now, at school, Napoleon, of course, was very serious, okay? He was very serious, and a moment, please. Okay. So I'm saying that Napoleon at school, okay, was very serious, and he was a responsible man in school, okay? He did a lot in school. He was so serious with his education, simply because he knew he was coming from a very poor family, and his only future was education, right? So let me try to read this information here for you. We are saying at school, he showed seriousness and responsibility towards his work. The school helped him to get the capacity for endurance. At school, he was placed among the cadets from wealthy noble families, making him socially inferior. Let me first pause a little bit there. We are saying, remember I've told you, the academies of Brienne and Paris were meant for children of the clergy and the nobles, meaning that these were coming from good families, and Napoleon was coming from such a poor family. So at school, he was placed among the sons of the rich people, and we are saying he was made socially inferior. Just imagine someone is placed under the sons of the rich and is very poor. Whatever he's using is of poor quality, so someone becomes inferior. But that inferiority complex did not actually make Napoleon lose focus. You understand? It only made him work hard for a better future. So we are continuing. That this was because he was from a poor family. Okay. If I'm to remind you, we had said that at school, he was placed among the cadets from the wealthy noble families, making him socially inferior. This was because he was from a poor family background. This situation gave him the impetus for hard work, especially as he considered his colleagues less capable than him, though wealthier. So that was Napoleon. When he looked at the colleagues at these academies, Paris and Brienne, he actually considered them inferior to him, however much they were coming from well-to-do families. For him, he thought, he actually believed in himself that he was capable than the sons of the nobles and the clergy. So how did it help him to come to power? Of course, determination there. You understand? This man became so much determined to work for his future. Being under the, because he was in a school of the rich people, a school of the well-to-do families, it only made him work hard. He was looking at their luxurious life. He could not afford such life. And then he was like, let me work for that. So that helped him to rise to a position of great importance. So I believe that point is clear to you people out there. Yes, have you got the point very well?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, teacher.
All right, that is very good. So let us now try to look at Now that was a factor, okay? And that factor is not broken down. You understand? So it is a fact of itself. We have not seen the sub-points of that factor. So we are now looking at another factor that contributed to Napoleon's rise to power. And this is Napoleon Bonaparte's character greatly contributed to the rise of this great man to power. So we are talking about character now. Character. You understand? So this man was energetic, he was confident, he was fearless, he was resourceful. That is character. You understand? So his character greatly contributed to his rise to power. First of all, we are saying this man became so much determined simply because he wanted to change his social status. You understand? That is now character. And he worked so hard to change his social status. Let us try to go through this information here. That he had enormous energy, self-confidence, fearless and very resourceful. Okay? He had the ability. Okay. Mute if you are not asking. How we are saying he had the ability to inspire confidence through his oratory power to all those who followed him. Now, oratory power. This man was a very good spokesperson. I don't know, not a spokesperson. He was a very good speaker. You understand? Oratory power. And we are saying because of his oratory power, he was in position to win so many people on his side. Okay? He loved his soldiers, and they also did so. You can imagine. We are saying he loved his soldiers. He is said to have had a wonderful memory, that he remembered the names of his soldiers and the regiments by heart. Okay? That this man had such a wonderful memory. He could remember the names of his soldiers and regiments by heart. He had unsurpassed genius for action and management. You understand? Unsurpassed genius for action and management. He always arranged things to the best advantages as desired, and had some power that enabled him to impose his will on others. You understand? So we are saying he had that power, okay, that enabled him to impose his will on others. Whatever he wanted could be done by others. He had that power to impose his will. Napoleon Bonaparte was tremendously ambitious, with a lot of confidence in himself, and always waiting for any opportunity to make himself known. We are saying this man was ambitious. He was waiting for an opportunity, for any opportunity to make himself known. He could not let opportunities go. No, he was ambitious, okay? And he was waiting for such opportunities to make himself known. So these qualities made it easy for Napoleon Bonaparte to rise to power in France in 1799. So the qualities we've talked about up there, we are saying made Napoleon to rise to power in France in 1799. Okay? But again, we are saying, however, Napoleon's character contributed to his rise to power in the following ways. Now, first of all, we have explained this point of character. I've given you the character of Napoleon Bonaparte, but again, we want to know how character led to his rise to power. We are breaking down this factor now to show how his character contributed to his rise to power. A moment, in the chat here, someone is saying new here, and I'm in Form 3. Oh, you are lost. But I'm confused because the timetable. Okay, this one is lost. Please, this is Senior 5. Someone is going to help you out. Okay. Yes, I've come back here. So we are saying that the character contributed to Napoleon's rise to power in the following ways. This is one of the contributions of character, and here it goes. He was intelligent, well-read, educated, and very ambitious. For example, he was able to become general at the age of 30. He was an opportunist, in that things came at the time they were needed, and as an opportunist, he was quick to exploit them to his advantage. He could even change opportunity into action very quickly. So we are saying this man was he was intelligent, okay? He was well-read or educated, and at the same time, over ambitious or very ambitious. I'm telling you, this man became a general at the age of 30. But of course, there is some bit of luck. It was a little bit hard for someone to become a general at the age of 30, but there was some luck also. You understand? But luck plus hard work, luck plus intelligence, luck and someone exploiting any opportunity. You understand? So this man became a general at the age of 30. And I'm also telling you, at the age of 30, he became the leader of France. If you remember, we said he was born in 1769, and he took power in 1799. In between there, I think we've got 30 years. So this man became a general at the age of 30, became a leader at the age of 30. That is being ambitious, intelligent, well-read, educated, and all that. We have also said he was an opportunist. He was always there to exploit opportunities. You understand? And at the end of the day, Napoleon was able to become leader in France in 1799 after staging a successful coup d'etat at a place known as Brumaire. So I don't know whether you've got that point very well, that sub-point of character. Is it okay? Yes, you can unmute and tell me whether that. Okay. All right. If that one is clear, then let us try to look at another sub-point of character. Here we are. And it goes, he was courageous, confident, brave, a man with extraordinary brain. I don't know that you've heard that. Courageous, confident, brave. Yes, is someone asking? What you do, you put up your hand if you're asking, and then you will be given an opportunity to ask your question, okay? We've said that this man was confident, brave, courageous, and he had extraordinary brain, okay? A moment. Okay. Yes. We are looking at courageous. We said he was courageous, confident, brave, and with extraordinary brain. We are saying he was very resourceful and very energetic. For example, in war, Napoleon's presence at the battlefield was equivalent to 40,000 soldiers. Let me pause a little bit there. We have said he was energetic, he was resourceful, he was confident, he was brave. When you look at all such characteristics, these characteristics define someone, okay? We are saying here, actually it is believed that his presence at the battlefield was equivalent to 40,000 soldiers. It is a little bit hard to believe, but this man was feared by the opponents simply because of his, simply because he was brave, okay? He was confident, he was courageous, and he had extraordinary brain, okay? This man could calculate. He rarely miscalculated. But of course, somewhere, you can't be perfect all the time. But we are saying he rarely miscalculated. That is why we are saying his presence at the battlefield was equivalent to 40,000 soldiers. He also had a lot of determination, and it was as a result of his determination, okay? A result of his determination that he took up a disorganized army to the Italian and Egyptian campaigns against him, the strong Austrians and the British. Okay, let me see. Someone, okay. Eunice, you had a question? Eunice, yes, you can ask, yes.
Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. In this point, they are telling us that they are talking about his determination.
Yes.
So if they ask us about, if they bring a question, maybe saying, to what extent did Napoleon's determination help him to rise to power in 1799? Do we also give, do we break these points? Because now we see that the question is two-sided. do we break this point into characters? For example, he was
No, that's
courageous,
a good point.
or you just explain it as one, then you just go to another point.
Okay, I will answer you that just in case you meet a question of that nature, automatically the question is two-sided. You have to break it down and show the extent to which you said the courage, determination.
Yeah, I was talking about determination.
Determination.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to break down the determination. But I would advise. I think determination falls under character. So the factor is character, and that is why I've also brought this under character.
Yeah.
So determination is all character. You understand?
Okay.
So determination is not a stem of itself. Determination is a sub-factor under character. So I would advise that you change that determination to character, and then you break down character.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so yes, that was all about courage, confidence, okay, being brave, and we said you also had extraordinary brain. I think you hear that, extraordinary brain. You understand? That is why I told you he rarely miscalculated. He rarely miscalculated. So this contributed him to his rise to power. Let us try to look at another sub-factor of character. And here, oh, by the way, before this other point I've just given you, there is something I didn't actually explain here at the end of this point here. We said that it was as a result of his determination that he took up a disorganized army. Do you hear that? He took up a disorganized army to the Italian and Egyptian campaigns against the strong Austrians and the British. Now, remember, there is what we call the Italian campaign and the Egyptian campaign. In the Italian campaign, Napoleon was sent to Italy by the Directory government to fight against the Austrians in Italy, to liberate the Italians from the leadership of the Austrians. Now, we are saying he was given a disorganized army. Automatically, the army, or we are saying the army was not in good terms. I mean, not in good. The army was disorganized anyway, and we are saying that this army, in fact, using his oratory skill, this man looked at the army he was given, and then he told them, soldiers, you are badly fed, nearly naked. The government owes you much but pays you nothing. I am going to lead you into the fertile plains of the world, from where you will reap honor and glory. We will look at that under oratory skills, okay? I will explain that more. But I'm showing you how this man was how he had extraordinary brain. He knew the army was disorganized, and then he selected the words to use to make sure that the soldiers gain morale. He told them, look, you are badly fed and nearly naked, but look at me, Napoleon. I am going to lead you into the most fertile plains of the world, from where you will reap honor and glory. From there, the army was like, yes, this is the man we've been waiting for, okay? So that was Napoleon and how he had that extraordinary brain. So I believe that point is also clear to you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That is good. If that point is also clear to you. A moment, let me see this person in the chat here. Okay, there is nothing much in the chat. Okay. Yes, we are looking at this other sub-factor of character, and there it is. He was a diplomat too. That is all character. Okay. He would crown his victories with peace, such as the Treaty of Campo Formio, after he had defeated the Austrians in his Italian campaign. Character. Now, there are those that wanted his radical side, And there are those that also wanted diplomacy. Automatically, this man had to win, okay, the support of all these people. As a diplomat, we are saying he was able to crown his victories with peace treaties. For example, he concluded, he had a peace treaty with the Austrians at Campo Formio, and the Austrians surrendered Italy to France. Okay, they also surrendered, I think, Belgium, because they were also controlling that. So everything they had was surrendered to Napoleon Bonaparte and France, or to France. But of course, it was Napoleon Bonaparte concluding treaties with these defeated defeated countries he was ever fighting. So he signed the Treaty of Campo Formio, okay, and then he got Italy from the Austrians, okay, and he divided Italy into two: southern Italy and northern Italy. And then northern Italy was renamed the Cisalpine Republic by Napoleon, okay, and it was to be directly under the control of the French. So Napoleon, as a diplomat, he was winning support from the masses, and indeed in 1799, when he said that I want to take over, he got support from all the different groups of people: the soldiers, the civilians, and the educated, the uneducated, all supported him. And that's why he became leader in 1799. So I think diplomacy is also clear there. And if it's clear, let us try to look at another sub-factor here. And there it is. We are saying he was also a genius. You understand? A genius. I don't know that I should say very bright, but a genius is more than being, a genius. It is more than being bright, okay? We are saying he was also a genius and foresighted, which explains why he kept aloof from the directory government, knowing its weaknesses would ruin his future plans. He also abandoned his plans of liberating Corsica and instead took part in the French Revolution, which gave him a lot of opportunities for his rise to power. We are saying he was a genius and foresighted. Foresighted, he could know what would ruin his future. This man, we are saying, he was trying to disassociate himself from the directory government. Of course, he was a soldier in the directory government, but not a leader. He never wanted to become a leader. He never wanted to, to come up asking for a leadership position under the directory government. He knew the directory government was weak. That is being foresighted. You understand? And he was ever disassociating himself from, the leadership, the leaders and the leadership positions. You understand? But he remained only a soldier under the directory government. We are saying that this man had plans of liberating Corsica. Remember, Corsica was the island where this man was born. And Corsica is an island found in Italy. You understand? This island was taken in 1768 by the French. The French, okay, took this island from the Italians in 1768, okay, and Napoleon being born of Corsica, he was like, I think I should liberate my country. I should liberate this island from the French. But again, he looked at liberating the island and looked at his plans of becoming the leader of France. He knew it would actually be against the French. And then he decided not to liberate Corsica from the French, because he looked at liberating Corsica and at the same time becoming leader in France. And then I think becoming leader in France was a little bit, bigger than liberating Corsica. So that needs someone who is foresighted. That needs a genius. And if you are not foresighted and a genius, you might not actually think over that. So the thing is, Napoleon was a genius and he was foresighted. And this explains why he was in a position to rise to power in 1799. 9, when he staged a successful coup d'etat at Brumaire. Raise hand here, and this is the okay, Gabriela. Yes, you can ask. Gabriela,
Teacher,
and,
is it okay if we, good morning, is it okay if we ask, if we put his involvement in the French Revolution as an example for his foresight?
Yes, when explaining, you can actually talk about it. He was foresighted, and that's why he worked for the different revolutionary governments. He worked for the National Convention government, and he also worked for the Directory government. Yeah, that is being foresighted. But remember, as a soldier, not as a leader. Have you got that? You can add it there.
Yeah. Okay, thank you,
yes,
teacher.
Have you got to the point, the explanation? Okay.
Yes.
I think, okay. You can now mute and we proceed. Okay, let me see whether someone has something. Someone is saying, excuse me, can you throw more light on the meaning of diplomacy? Okay, someone is actually asking, or is actually, he has not got the word diplomacy very well. Now we are looking at a diplomat. A diplomat is someone who settles issues amicably, peacefully. Like you sit and make an agreement that we are not supposed to break ABCD. You understand? And that is diplomacy. Like you don't use force. You now sit down, okay, and settle your differences peacefully. That is how he settled these differences with the Austrians. Of course, after defeating them, he made them sign a treaty that I've defeated you. ABCD want to be done by you and me. You understand? So that one is a diplomat. Okay, someone there is okay, Crispus has got his hand up. Yes, you can ask. Crispus. Oh, Crispus. Unmute yourself, Crispus. Crispus, I can see your hand up. Okay, I think Crispus has issues. Okay,
Now I can ask.
Yes.
Sir, I have like a question on Napoleon. Maybe you can help me and tell me the approach.
Okay.
Explaining the features of Napoleon's one foreign policy between 1800 to 1815.
The features of Napoleon in his foreign policy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, that question wants you to look at what Napoleon did outside France. Okay. You talk about you talk about the Moscow campaign.
Moscow
you talk
campaign.
about the yes. Okay. You talk about the Moscow campaign, 1812. You talk about the continental system. You also talk about the peninsula, the
Peninsula War.
Yes, the Peninsula Wars. You can also talk about what else? You can also talk about the Concordat when he reconciled with the Pope. Oh, no, the Concordat is in the, but of course, Concordat when he reconciled with the Pope, yes, it has got some elements of foreign, because the Pope was outside France. But of course, we see that majorly under the domestic policy, but you can also look at that component of the Pope coming from Italy, and we can take it under the foreign policies. So majorly you look at what Napoleon did outside France. You understand? You look at these different campaigns.
Sir,
yes.
Sir, can you give other factors?
If it is explained, was it explained?
Yeah.
Explained. It was explained the what? Repeat the question.
As of Napoleon is one foreign policy.
No, you don't look at other factors. You only look at the features of Napoleon's foreign policy.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay. Let us try to go back to character. Remember, we are breaking down character. Okay. Breaking down character. And here we are going to look at another contribution under character. And here it is. It talks about Napoleon's education. Okay. And it goes, Napoleon's education also contributed to his rise to power. Okay. He was widely read, especially in revolutionary literature of great philosophers like Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Now, that name is not Jean-Jacques. That name is Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Okay. So we are saying that he read revolutionary literature of great philosophers like Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and he also studied math, political science, and history. He was well versed with a lot of knowledge. Is someone saying something? If you're not asking, it's mute. Okay, moment. Okay, let us go back to our point. So I was actually telling you that he was well versed with a lot of knowledge about the art of war and peace. He also greatly understood world politics, having read the constitutions of many countries like Britain, Turkey, Switzerland, and others, which sharpened his mind and helped him to rise to power. So we are talking about education. The first point was talking about military academies of Brienne and Paris, joining military academies of Brienne and Paris. We were not looking at education, no. We were looking at him joining the military academies of Brienne and Paris. But here we are looking at the education Napoleon attained. So we are saying the education contributed to his rise to power. We are saying this man read revolutionary literature. He read revolutionary literature. He so much wanted to change things for the better. We are talking about Napoleon studying math, okay, political science and history. All these ones helped him to rise to power. History, automatically, he was reading about the past, okay, and then to know what will happen in the future. You understand? We are saying that this man had knowledge about the art of war and peace. He could calculate a war very well. You understand? That is why this man was in most cases successful in the different battles. Okay, starting with the Whiff of Grape Shot, 1795. Okay, where he suppressed the royalists that had come to disorganize the revolutionary government at the time. Okay, he also went to Italy and he defeated the Austrians in Italy. He went to Egypt. Of course, at the beginning, he tried to defeat the British, but at the end of it all, yes, he was defeated by the British. You understand? So this man fought different battles. You understand? Fought different battles, and he also went to Portugal and then Spain. Okay, in the Peninsular Wars. He defeated the Portuguese, but he also wanted to go and fight the Spanish, but unfortunately was defeated in Spain. And at one time, this man is believed to have said that the Spanish ulcer destroyed him. He referred to that war as ulcer. You understand? The Spanish ulcer destroyed me. That is what is believed. That is what we believe that Napoleon at one time said. By the way, I've also remembered this. I don't know whether you've been told this. Quoting, okay? We so much like to quote. We so much like to quote people, and we tell, you know, we quote what they said. But let me tell you, here quoting has got some strings attached. When you quote, The examiner will expect you to talk about the book you've quoted. You understand? The page you've quoted, the right of the book you've quoted. You understand? So the moment you quote, the examiner will be waiting for the book you've quoted, the right of the book you've quoted, and the page you have quoted. Now, in most cases, we don't have this information. What do examiners do when you quote and you don't show the books and the writers and everything? The examiners will subtract 2 marks from you. You understand? So you shouldn't lose the 2 marks. Now, what do you do? Just in case you don't know the book, you don't know the writer, you also don't know the page. This is what you do. You use words like, it is believed that at one time Napoleon said. You understand? You've used the word, it is believed. Okay? It is alleged that Napoleon said. Okay? You don't just quote and then open up the quotation marks. No. The moment you open up the quotation marks, then we will be waiting for the book you have quoted. And in history, in most cases, we quote, I think, 3 books. We quote Peacock, then we quote Mahjan, then we quote Dennis Richards, I think. 3 books. Those are the books we majorly quote. So we are saying, if you want to avoid that, what you do, you use words like it is believed that at one time Napoleon said. It is believed that that it is said that this, it is alleged. So you use such words. Are we together now? Have you got that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. That is good if you've got that very well. So avoid losing the 2 marks. Yeah, avoid losing the 2 marks. I was looking at the chat here, but there is nothing much. Someone was saying, throw more light on the meaning. No, that one I answered. Okay. So we are saying that this man greatly understood world politics because he read different books and the different constitutions of the different countries. So that was Napoleon and how education contributed to his rise to power. We are saying simply because he had read the different constitutions of the different countries, simply because this man had read the different writings of the different political philosophers, he was in position to know he was in position to know world politics. And of course, when you know world politics, automatically you can also know how to lead your people at home. So that was Napoleon and education. So we are moving over to this other contribution here. And it goes, the support of the army. That is the point. Okay? Napoleon was a military genius who rose to higher ranks in the army within a short period of time. While at military academies of Brienne and Paris, he made friends who supported him as the leader of the army in the various assignments. It was this army which gave him support when he organized the coup of Brumaire in 1799. Now, this man had the support of the army. Okay? This man had the support of the army. And we are saying, as a student at the academies of Brienne and Paris, he was in position to make friends. And these are the very people that were in the army by the time Napoleon was looking for power in France. We are saying that Napoleon decided to stage a coup d'etat, okay, in 1799 at Brumaire. And it was the support of the army, okay, that helped Napoleon to rise to power. You cannot stage a coup when the army is against you. No. This man was friendly to the different army officers, and it is these army officers that supported him in 1799. Now, the army officers, okay, Napoleon also had support from other people who were not officers. I mean, he had the support of his brother Lucien Bonaparte because he was the leader of the Council of 500. The other time I told you, the Parliament of France was divided into two, the Council of Elders and the Council of 500. So Lucien Bonaparte was the leader of the Council of 500, and he also supported Napoleon in 1799. He also had the support of some of the generals, okay? Sieyès, Barras, all of these ones supported him. So the thing is, Napoleon had the support of the army, then other people also followed that support, and he was in a position to take up power in 1799. Is that point clear? Yes, have you got that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's clear.
It's clear, but sir, I have a question.
Yes, you can ask.
Teacher,
Yes.
like you've been talking about Paris, but then for me in my notes, I have equally.
You have? Sorry?
Like you've been talking about Paris, eh? You've been talking about schools where Napoleon attended, eh?
Yes.
Then for me, I have equally.
Oh, you don't have Paris as a military academy. You don't have that one?
Yes, teacher, I have equally.
Well, that one might be one of maybe the schools he attended. But we majorly know Napoleon as a cadet in Brienne and Paris. Most of the books talk about Brienne and Paris. You understand? But that one might, be one of the schools he attended or he joined. But we majorly talk about Brienne and Paris military academies. Charles, you want to ask?
I wanted to answer that our friend.
Yes, please.
École means school in French. So the one in Paris is the one which was called École du Militaire Paris.
Oh, okay. I'm also actually learning. I didn't know that means the schools. So someone has answered. Someone has given us an answer that école means school in French. Have you got that? The person who had the person who was talking about école. Have you heard that?
Yeah. Yes. Thanks very much.
Yes. So there is Ashley. Ashley, you've got your hand up. Ashley.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. My point is actually the one of the former speaker.
Yes.
École means school in English. And I think the schools were École Militaire de Paris and Brienne, which were located in Paris. So Paris is not one of the schools, but the allocations where the schools were.
Oh, okay. So someone is also trying to give us more light on that, and I believe you also heard that. So I think then Eunice.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for this opportunity.
Yes, please.
But about what you're looking at, we are looking about character.
Yes.
So I have a point, maybe, I don't know if it also lies under the character of Napoleon. Can you talk about Napoleon's skills and organizational abilities that explain why a Versailles picked him?
So the last statement. The last statement, I've not heard it, but I've heard the skills and organization, right?
Yeah, that explain why Abe picked him, the director of the DG, why he picked him to execute the 1799 coup.
Okay. Yes, this one talks about skills. His organization, the skills. Yeah, he had the skills. He was a very good organizer, and he also organized, you know, for example, remember I told you that the oratory skills, for example, I remember telling you he was given a disappointed army. He was given an army that had lost morale, and this man talked to the army very well. That is now oratory skills. You understand? This also goes under character. Yes, it goes under character. But in the interest of time, I can see we have our time is just about to. Let us try to look at this other point here. I will come back to the hands put up. There is this point here that Napoleon also had strong oratory abilities, i.e., power of speech. He was a gifted speaker. He had a careful selection of words and powerful memory, which impressed his followers, both the soldiers and the French civilians. For example, while preparing for the Italian campaign, it is believed that he spoke and convinced the army when he said, "You are badly fed and nearly naked. I am going to lead you to the most fertile plains of the world. You will find there great cities and rich provinces. You will find there honor, glory, oratory skills." You understand? He was given an army that had lost morale. And then he was like, what should I do to the army? And the words, the very first words to the army were so inspirational. And the army was like, this is the man we've been waiting for. So the army supported him till the end. Even when he was defeated in 1914, okay, at the Battle of Leipzig, then exiled at Elba, he decided to come back and landed in southern France. Of course, General Lafayette still believed in him. He was told to go and arrest him, but General Lafayette instead supported Napoleon back to France, and he ruled for more 30 days. For more 100 days. So that was Napoleon and the oratory skills which won him support of the army. Now, there is this other point here, or actually continuation of the other one, that within a few weeks of invading Italy, he defeated the Austrian army and forced them to sign the Treaty of Campo Formio and liberated the Italians, to whom he also believed to have said, "People of Italy, the French army comes to break your chains of bondage. Greet it with confidence. Your property, religion, customs will be protected." Such convincing language won Napoleon's support of the army and the masses, leading to his rise to power. Now, still we are looking at oratory skills, that even when he was sent to Italy, he told the people of Italy, okay, that the French army comes to break your chains. He did not actually tell them that Napoleon has come to break your chains. No, he was calculating. He said the French army comes to break your chains. Greet it with confidence. Your property, religion, customs will be protected. So we are saying that was Napoleon. Oratory skills, and how the oratory skills greatly contributed to his rise to power. All this is character. Okay. Joyce has a hand up. Yes, Joyce.
So I was actually requesting you to elaborate more on the point of concordat.
Oh, the concordat. We don't have time, but I can briefly tell you that it was a treaty. It was an arrangement between Napoleon and the Pope to reconcile the Catholic Church and the French. Remember, the revolutionaries had ruined the relationship between the revolutionaries and the Catholic Church. You remember the civil constitution of the clergy in the French Revolution, you understand? So they had ruined the relationship between the church and the French society, and then Napoleon came in to reconcile the Catholics in France, the Pope, and the revolutionaries, and the people that wanted change in France. Okay, I don't know that you've got that.
I've got it. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Then Wekesa, you also have your hand up. I just want to wind up, Wekesa.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yes.
As we conclude, I would like to know
Yes.
about these questions, the two-sided questions.
Yes.
For example, when they ask you about a question, maybe talking about how Marie Antoinette contributed to the French Revolution, the outbreak of the French Revolution.
Yes.
We know that after giving the point key, do we give more points on Marie Antoinette as the question is asking, or we just go further? We can give more points even on the other hand of the question.
Okay, now minimum you are expected to give at least 7 sub-points of the stem. For example, they have talked about Marie Antoinette, and at least give 7 sub-points of Marie Antoinette's contribution, and then you look at other factors. You understand? And it is your choice to either tell the examiner that Marie Antoinette contributed to a greater extent, or it is the other factors that contributed to a greater extent. Okay? So the choice is yours. We are no longer dictating stands on you learners. The choice is yours. It depends on what you see you are going to give or what you've given. So we are saying at least 7 sub-points of the stem point. In this case, Marie Antoinette, and then look at other factors. So I think I've answered you. We don't have time. So actually, we've also come to the end of this lesson 3. We will be meeting up again next week, same time, same day. Please have a blessed week and a good day.